When the words coming out of your mouth are true and you believe what you're saying, that's authenticity. Welcome back to another episode of I Am Nineveh. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm excited about today's topic, as always. Here's my question for you. Is your service or product a commodity in the marketplace? That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to dive right in. But first, what does that even mean? What does the word commodity mean? You know, commodity actually has two different definitions. So, I love me the dictionary. So let's dive right into what the word actually means, because they can mean the complete opposite from each other. So it depends on how it's used. In some cases, it can mean something valuable, precious, desired, and or expensive. Ooh, I like that. I like expensive. In a sentence, you can say something like, patience is a rare commodity. But on the flip side, which is what we're going to talk about today and we're going to dive into, is commodity can mean something common, mediocre, average, ubiquitous, dime a dozen, cheap, and undesirable. What I want to discuss today is how not to be just another commodity in the marketplace. The common, dime a dozen, cheap product or service. And there are a lot of cheap products in the marketplace. There are a lot of undesirable services out in the marketplace. So how are you going to differentiate yourself? We got to dive into this. As a business owner, this is crucial. This is a crucial part of winning. So let's talk about how to stand out instead of blending in. Personally, I've never been someone who blends in. I've never liked blending in, which is probably why I got into so much trouble in high school with my parents, my teachers, and the principal. I dressed the way I want to do, for example. Even as a news anchor back in the day during my broadcast days, management didn't like the way I dressed. In fact, before I got my gig in Salt Lake City, and the way that you get a job in broadcast is you have a resume, not just a paper resume like this. It's a resume tape, a compilation of you anchoring, reporting out in the field. And so I turned in that compilation, and in one of the clips, I was wearing these massive J-Lo type hoop earrings. And I remember going in for the interview, and the interview is not just a sit down with management, but they actually throw you out as if you're doing a broadcast and they test you on camera, essentially. And I nailed it. I freaking nailed it. I always nailed those interviews, especially when they threw me out and tested me. I'm like, well, this isn't even real. I can nail this, right? So here we are. I'm like, I nailed it. I know I got the job. Like, I'm not stupid. But management said to me, what? Listen, we'd love to offer you the job as long, and I quote, as long as you're willing to divorce those hoop earrings of yours. And of course, I lied, right? I lied and I said, absolutely. I promise never to wear hoop earrings again. All right, whatever you say. So I never really liked being told what to do because I thought like blending in is boring. It's average. It's mediocre, right? It's a commodity. And I was never a commodity. I'm not a commodity. Are you? So let's talk about that. There are a lot of products and services that are commodities, meaning that these products and services, they're everywhere. You can find them anywhere, right? And let's look at the statistics. According to Google, there are over 228,000 web design services, as in businesses in the United States, as of 2023, and that's a 7.6% jump from last year in 2022. There are 1.3 million lawyers in the U.S. I'm just doing U.S. stats, and again, this is according to Google, okay? Could be wrong, all right? Listen to this number right here. This is fascinating to me. There are more than 3 million people in the United States alone holding active We're not even talking about inactive, right? Holding active real estate licenses. So imagine that real estate, so hi, I'm Susie and I'm a real estate agent, says everybody, like in this office alone where I do this podcast and have my own office, a lot of executive suites, and most of the people in here actually are in real estate. So real estate, being a real estate agent, it's a commodity. Like they're everywhere. I can find a real estate agent anywhere I want. Like what makes you different? Why should I hire you? That's what we're going to talk about. There's a lot of products and services that are commodities. Like there's tons of e-commerce stores that sell hats, that sell shirts, that sell jewelry, right? Why should I buy from you? Okay, so in this case, in business, standing out is crucial to winning. Now, maybe in broadcast, blending in and being boring is like the thing to do, but media has changed. I saw this a long time ago. I was like, y'all don't understand. People watch for personality. They don't watch because I look like Susie next door. But they didn't understand that. And local TV news still doesn't get it. Like they are so dinosaur, it's ridiculous. Podcasting, digital shows are just eating up the mainstream media alive, right? Anyone can have their own show these days. Now, you're not guaranteed 1 million viewers, but still, anyone can have their own show. And now, why should someone watch? Because, for example, this show, it's a commodity. Like, so many people have shows. So many people are launching podcasts, for example, right? What's going to make me stand out? Not blending in, being different, being authentic, right? More to it than that, though, because somebody can be authentic and, like, not skilled, and then it doesn't work. So one of the main reasons, before we dive into that, what I wanted to say is when it comes to services, okay, so we're talking about real estate agents, we're talking about web design services, we're talking about things like web design, graphic design, bookkeeping, basic customer support, right? One of the main reasons that all these things are becoming commodities, like you can find them anywhere, they're a dime a dozen, is because of technology. SaaS, software as a service. SaaS is replacing a lot of those services. So anyone, think about it, can be a graphic designer with a tool like Canva. And Canva, wow, I mean, they are always innovating too. They're always adding new features to their product, to their SaaS tool. It's going to be very difficult for an individual to outpace that kind of production. So what do graphic designers have to do is they actually have to team up and use tools like Canva to help themselves become even better at graphic design or to produce more than what Canva can. You see where I'm going with this. Anyone can do web design if they're using Squarespace, right? Anyone can provide customer support with an AI chatbot. Yup. And that'll do the same basic level service as someone who's making $35,000 to $45,000 a year, right? Even customer support is being outsourced, right, to areas like the Philippines, for example. It's very popular for companies to use individuals in the Philippines for basic customer support and even growing their businesses. But now when we're talking about the United States alone, and you as an individual, even as an employee, like you have got to differentiate yourself as well. So we're not just talking about the business owner. We're just talking about you Inc., right? You Inc. as well. If you're listening and you're not an entrepreneur, I want you to understand how this is applicable to you as well. So when you're in a basic entry level job, and we all start at basic entry level work, you don't stay there. You don't stay there because then you just blend in and you stay stuck and you can never ascend. This is the same thing with business, except for business, you'll just be eaten out of the marketplace, right? And you'll go out of business. Unlike an employee who, makes the decision to just blend in and become a commodity and not work towards progress, they can still make a basic living. For a business, much more dangerous to have that kind of attitude. You'll get wiped out. So here's the thing. Most service-based businesses are offering a commodity. Most of them are, which means that you have to differentiate yourself in the marketplace. And so how are you going to do that? I'm so glad that you asked. Here are 3 things that are going to help you stand out instead of blend in. Number 1, wear some J-Lo hoop earrings. No, I'm just kidding. Number one is this: specialized expertise. Okay? Write that down. Number one is specialized expertise. Number two, exceptional customer service or client experience. Number three, a unique offer that sets you apart from competitors. What is your it factor? What's the thing about your product or service that is different from all the other competitors out there or all the other creators out there that are offering the very same thing? So number one, which we talked about, is the specialized expertise, right? Number one is the unique IP. The unique IP. IP stands for intellectual property that no one else can replicate because you have to become a master at that particular service that you're selling. Thanks for tuning into my show. I'm the founder of Scale Ventures and want to invite you to learn more about how we help high-achieving men and women just like you. As a shareholder and owner of multiple 7- and 8-figure businesses, my company can help bring order to the chaos in your business. Find out if you qualify and get on my waitlist at scaleventures.com. That's spelled SKAYLE ventures.com. Check this out. There are only about 42,000 chief executive officers, CEOs, currently employed in the United States. That's not a lot. By the way, the breakdown is about 31.5% are women and 68.5% are men. Come on, ladies, get into the game. Seriously. Women are phenomenal CEOs, let me tell you. They are phenomenal in leadership. Women are like my favorite people to hire. I'm not trying to be biased here, but man, they are so collaborative and fun. I love working with women. So when I say there are only 42,000 CEOs in the United States, that is not a lot. It's not a lot when you compare it to 1.3 million lawyers and over 3 million active real estate agents. Do you see where I'm going with this? Because being a CEO, it's specialized, right? They have got an expertise that is unique, that comes with a lot of experience. It's a unique IP. They've mastered the game of business, and not a lot of people make it to that level, right? So think about real estate agents. It's you go and get your real estate license, right? There's a basic level of entry. Like, you don't just go to school to become a CEO, although I know a lot of people go get their master's degrees in business and think they know business. Sorry, you don't. You don't. Until you've applied it in the real world, your degree really is just, I don't know, it's just knowledge. Knowledge applied isn't really powerful. So anyway, I'm not saying I don't respect you having a master's or a PhD in business, for example. You may know a lot more than I do, but you know, the person that's actually in the game and applying it, totally different, unique IP, right? Than like the professor, for example. So my point that I'm trying to make here is, number one is that unique IP, that specialized expertise that you have. Do you have that? Do you have a unique IP? And if not, go get it, go create it, make it happen. And a lot of times that comes with time, right? So as a business owner, if you offer a service that everybody else is offering, the unique IP needs to be either you. Okay, so you've either got to be this like charismatic, cool personality, different. In this case, you don't want to blend in. You want to stand out. You know, is it a look? Is it the way you talk? Is it the way you communicate? Is it all three of those things combined? Yes. So it's either you as a personality or it's the methodology that you are using to get clients results. And I would say that you want both. You want you as the personality, right? Oh, it's different. I like that person. I want to work with that person. They seem to have an expertise now, but what are they promising? And what's their methodology? What's that unique IP that they have that nobody else has in the marketplace that is going to get me a type of result that their competitor doing the very same product or service is claiming to? Like, what's different about this? You need that secondary aspect, okay, when it comes to specialized expertise. It's like, what is the methodology that you're using to get your clients results that this person over here, this consultant, can't get you? right? Unique IP, like I said. Number 2, if you are selling a commodity, which is a lot of people, your client experience, your customer service better be exceptional. It's got to be excellent. I'm telling you right now, people will always remember how they felt, and how they feel will directly correlate to the results that they actually get, right? Client experience and customer service is one of the last places business owners optimize, believe it or not. I come into companies all the time, and one of the last places that I see that they've invested any time, effort, or money into is their support staff. So if they're a SaaS product, it's like, where's the support? Where's your technical support staff? None? I mean, your customers don't know how to use your product. Your users are coming in, they're signing up, and they don't understand how to use the product. You have no tech support. How do you expect to convert? So think of it that way if you're in SaaS. If you're a service, a lot of entrepreneurs are great at selling. They're making the sell, they're marketing, a lot of marketing-heavy, sales-heavy type CEOs, entrepreneurs, hustlers. We've talked about this. Then make the sell, they get the high, then they got a service. They're like, I got to service it too. And oftentimes the CEO is doing it all, right? And so they're also stuck in the fulfillment. And what happens when you're juggling too many balls is that things begin to break down. And one of the first areas that begins to break down is the client experience, that customer service. And so it's really important that you pay attention to customer service. If you're offering a commodity and like you're doing something that everybody else is doing, you've got a lot of competitors, there's a lot of saturation, like with real estate, or I could give you a ton of other examples, but we'll just go on that track. Not just your unique IP, but what's that experience like when somebody signs up with you? What is that experience like when somebody, begins to work with you? How is that customized and tailored to provide delight to the client, right? So absolutely, you need to be able to deliver results as a business owner. That's what people are paying you for. But people aren't going to get the results if they come in and they have a crappy experience. So it is, believe it or not, like I said, one of the last places that business owners take a look at is client experience, but it's actually a critical contributor to churn rate. So a lot of customers churn, they leave, they don't renew because the client experience just sucked. And so I would urge you to really pay attention to what I call the customer journey. Now, most of the time when you're losing customers, it's because you didn't deliver an excellent experience. And so, you've got to have a unique IP, and I think you can, if you've got a unique IP, let me put it this way, and you've got the personality and you've got the methodology, I think and you can get people results. I think at first you can get away with having a mediocre client experience because you're likable, right? You're likable, you're a personality and you're likable. But let me tell you something about personalities. Personality-driven businesses are not scalable. They're not. I think you need them. I think in today's world, every business, every product and service needs an attractive character. And if the attractive character is the owner and the CEO or whatever, but they're in the business, all that much better. It's interesting with SaaS, you don't have the attractive character with SaaS companies so much. But for example, Tesla, who's the attractive character? Elon Musk, right? So that's the unique IP, is that you get Elon Musk. But oftentimes personalities are not scalable, and so you want to make sure that your systems and your client experience and your fulfillment is got the frameworks and the foundation so that you can become scalable. So number three, I told you got to have a unique offer. What is your unique offer? What sets you apart from competitors? What is your secret sauce? That's the question. There are so many, think about this, there are so many fast food restaurants out there, right? And let's take a look at who's actually winning. KFC differentiated itself by its secret recipe. They've got some kind of secret recipe. God knows what's in it. Although if you Google, there's a lot of YouTube videos and information about what their secret recipe is now, but that's the way that they marketed it, right? They're like, we know tons of places serve fried chicken, But our fried chicken is different because we've got a secret recipe. And that's how they differentiated themselves in the marketplace. What about Chick-fil-A? Chick-fil-A is known for its exceptional service. And they're closed on Sundays. So 2 things here. They're known for their exceptional service, meaning you get into a drive-thru for Chick-fil-A and it happens fast and there's always someone there to greet you. It's a great experience and it's pleasant and you like it and you get your food on time. You're not waiting in line forever. So the service is fast because it's, fast food. I mean, nothing is worse than getting into a fast food line at a couple of other places like In-N-Out, for example. That seems to take way longer than like a Chick-fil-A. But here you are, a fast food service, and Chick-fil-A is saying we deliver on the promise of being a fast food service. But on top of that, just because we're fast food doesn't mean that the experience should be subpar. We're going to also, on top of that, not only deliver quickly, but make sure that we deliver a really great client experience to go along with that. And by the way, we're closed on Sundays. Why is that? Because Chick-fil-A stands for something. They have a cause, and that's part of the number 1, which could be the unique IP. What differentiates them as a personality, as a brand, as a persona, is that they stand for something. They're closed on Sundays because they're a Christian faith-based organization. And they make more money than anybody else, right? So there you go. There's actually a few businesses that operate that way that are faith-based and Christian-based. So let's go back to the 3 things, okay? Just to wrap this up for you, and hopefully you got a lot of value out of this episode. What are the 3 things that are going to help you stand out and not blend in? 1, specialized expertise. Do you have that unique IP? Do you have a methodology? Number 2, exceptional customer service or client experience. And number 3, a unique offer that sets you apart from other creators and competitors in the marketplace. All right, if you found this episode to be helpful, found that it was valuable, I'd love to hear from you. You can always find me on Instagram. That's where I'm the most active, at Nineveh Madsen. As always, thank you so much for listening to my show. We'll see you next time.